Alright guys, so with the PvP tier list for July 2023 updated, now it's about time for me to update you guys on the PvE side of things for July 2023. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me for this. So here we go guys. This is of course going to be based on my opinion as well as my experience. I have beat everything inside of the world exploration story as well as dark mode as well as master mode, all the way up to 3-star except for 16-30 as of right now for the dark mode. So that is going to be the foundation of this kind of opinion as well as experience for the PvE side of things. And of course I do still consider something like the guild boss battle as well as the Kage Alliance as well kind of into this. So let's get into it guys. Let's start out with the not useful as of right now. So these are the cookies, just like the arena, the ones that I do not recommend, especially if you guys are planning to use them for the PvE aspect of things. The one thing that is different than the arena is that world exploration still can be played with your cookies that you still favor. And you can still make it work out, but still it's just going to be whether you want to waste your resources or not and, you know, have a tougher time. All right, but here we go. It's going to be Kumio, Raspberry as well as Fig. We got Moon Rabbit as well as Snow Sugar, Lilac, Pastry, Sonic, Tail, Tiger Lily as well as Chili Pepper. All right, these guys are usable but not very going to be useful for you guys, not going to help you guys out. I recommend you guys to try and stay away from them unless they get a buff or a magic candy that is going to revive them. Next one is going to be B tier. B tier are useful. They can be used. They have their perks, but they're still going to be a little outdated now and or just not going to be as suited for the world exploration side as well as the story side or even just the, you know, PvE side of things altogether. And now it's going to be Strawberry Crepe, Affogato, Dark Choco, Red Velvet. We got Cocoa, we got Sparkling, we got Mint Choco, Candy Diver, Black Raisin, Sorbet Shark, Mango, Poison Mushroom, as well as Profit. Alright, so these guys did have their perks back in the days, especially someone like Dark Choco as well as Sorbet. Really good for boss fight. Poison Mushroom was decent for boss fights. Strawberry Crate was one of the best tanks. You know, Affogato had the ability to curse certain enemies, but in general right now these cookies are going to be a little outdated compared to the others, and I don't think it's going to be the best to invest in much of these guys right now, especially if they do not get a magic candy. One that we're looking forward to right now is going to be Mango again. So if Mango does get one, then we'll see if that brings him up into the tier list for not only the PvP aspect of things, but for the PvE as well. And the next one is going to be the A tier. A tier are the ones that are going to be a pretty darn good ones. I would say you guys can use them, but still going to be lackluster compared to something like the S tier as well as the Must Raise and some of the first to invest as well. So here we go guys. It's going to be Licorice with the Magic Candy. We got Purple Yam with the Magic Candy, Crunchy Chip as well as Queen of Man, Financier, Royal Margarine, Milk Cookie with the Magic Candy. We got Pumpkin Pie, Clotted Cream, Caramel Arrow, Latte with the Magic Candy, as well as Blueberry Pie, Cherry Blossom. We got Cream Unicorn, Carol, as well as Macaron. Alright, so these cookies, again, they're pretty good. They can be used in a lot of different situations. You know, you guys probably can't actually even clear most of the story mode as well as the world exploration with these cookies. Of course, dark mode will have to be a little bit different, but in the end, compared to some of the S tiers as well as again the Must Raise and the first to invest, some of these cookies are not going to do as well as those cookies mentioned above. And before I continue on, I do want to put actually Oyster into the A tier as well. She has been decent, but I would say compared to the ones that are in the S tier right now, she's going to be a little lackluster as well. Something like Licorice, her crit damage, crit buff, as well as the soldiers are useful, but it's just that you don't really need her in your team as of right now in most of the cases. So I'm going to put her at A tier. But moving on to the S tier now, these cookies are going to be the ones that are going to be really good for you guys most of the time. You know, they do their job really well, especially if they are tank. They're a great tank. If they're DPS, they're a great DPS, especially if they are something like the legendaries that I'm going to mention. They do have their perks of either slowing down the enemy, they have freeze, they have stuns and things like that. So let's get into it. Starting off, it's going to be Tartatan as well as Capsaicin. We got Molotov with the Magic Candy. We got Brute. We got Tina with the Magic Candy. We got Madeline with the Magic Candy. We got Werewolf with the Magic Candy. We got Black Pearl, Frost Queen, Sea Fairy. We got Espresso with the Magic Candy. we got Rye with the Magic Candy, we got Pinecone, as well as in the end Rockstar, our latest cookie. All right, so Tartatan again is going to be one of the best damage dealer straight up right now inside of the world aspiration aspect of things, even in the Cookie Alliance and things like that. She just does really good damage, not only to the regular mobs, but she actually does exceptionally well against the bosses because she does have the perk to deal extra damage to bosses, and the ability to actually decrease her own cooldown with every auto attack just allows her to do even more damage compared to someone like, you know, just the regular damage dealers that we have. Some people might ask, is Tartatan just better than like someone like Moonlight, someone like Black Pearl, some of the legendaries? If you do want to just directly compare the damage, then yes, she will do more damage. However, she is just doing damage. She has the burn, but she's only doing damage. So if you want to go into more of overall usage like utility and things like that, then you know, it can be debatable when it comes to that. However, still doesn't change the fact that she is absolutely amazing, and I do recommend you guys do invest in her if you guys do have her, and she will be added on to the first to invest later on when she comes into the Miler shop. But Capsaicin, really good tank. Immortality actually does come in clutch for a lot of the players, especially inside of the harder stages. We also got Molotov. Molotov is actually really good as a tank too, providing extra crit with the Magic Candy to all of the teammates, 25%. Being able to stun, being able to increase the fire damage, so it works really well with someone like Capsaicin as well as Tartatan. So instead of the first invest, I am actually adding Brute to the S tier now because I thought it would be better to kind of narrow down the you know, the charge as well as tank role inside of the first to invest. Brute is really good, especially in the master mode, but for the regular story as well as like Cookie Alliance and such, I would say the cookies within the first to invest is a slightly better and overall just a little bit of a, you know, more tankier role than Brute. So I'm gonna put Brute in the S tier. T-Knight is the only one right now in the end that is able to beat 16-30 dark mode, so that's the reason why I am putting T-Knight at S tier. But just keep in mind, T-Knight does need to have cookies die in order to actually take advantage of T-Knight. Maybe it would actually even better to put T-Knight in the situational, but yeah, just going to put T-Knight in the S tier for now for you guys to know how good T-Knight's Magic Candy is right now. And then we got Madeline, Werewolf with the Magic Candy. These two are really good in tanking as well in a lot of the situations. And then we got the legendaries. Like I said, they freeze, stun, as well as slow down the enemies. They do good damage. You know, I would say still they have their perks and utilities within the world exploration aspect of things and the PvE aspect of things. And then we got Espresso, Rye. Espresso is a great AoE damage dealer for the Epic class, and we got Rye, who is a great single hit damage dealer. We got Pinecone, who is a great DPS and slash tank with the stun that is able to do AoE damage, and Rockstar, absolutely amazing healer right now. You guys know exactly why. Crit percentage, extra healing, encore, and things like that just really makes Rockstar a great healer for most players. All right, and now going into the situational things. Situationals are going to be, you know, literally situational. Like, you're gonna need these cookies no matter what in some of the stages in order to actually beat it, including something like 16-10 against the mouse and things like that. But after that, they don't really become too useful. You don't need to use them really if you don't want to. So let's get into it. And that is actually going to be Shining Glitter here. And then we got Dark Cacao, we got Twizzly, we got Herb, we got Parfait, Pomegranate, Almond, Vampire with the Magic Candy, as well as BTS. So these cookies are now going to be more situational. The reason why I put Herb, Parfait, Pomegranate here is because they're situational in kind of replacing some of your healers in case you guys actually don't have some of those healers. All right, Almond, link damage is going to be useful for any of the one-shot comps that you guys might need for certain stages, Vampire, bosses. And then we got BTS, who's going to be a replacement for Snapdragon if you guys don't have Snapdragon. And the Zaps are going to be the ones that are going to be required in something like 16-10 to get rid of the you know, HP shield, because these are going to be the only ones that are actually able to do that in most cases. All right, so Shining Glitter is going to be part of that, in my opinion. Within the world aspirations, compared to someone like Rockstar, again, is going to be a little lackluster just because she doesn't provide any extra like insane amount of attack buff or anything like that. No stun. She just provides crit damage reduction, which helps, but isn't really like any like game breaking or really good in some sense. So that's the reason why I'm putting Shining Glitter in the situational. So now moving on to the must raise. These cookies are the ones that are going to be must raise once you guys do pull them. All right, the reason why then I am first to invest again is because you do need to pull them. You do need to do the gacha. You need to get lucky. So it is hard to really invest in them right away when you're starting up the game if you guys don't have the ability to. So those are going to include, of course, Moonlight as well as Stardust, Pattaya, we got Sherbet, Cream Puff because Cream Puff is within the Guild Gacha, and then Snapdragon, who is going to be part of the Dragon Gacha or the Dragon Egg Gacha, right? So these guys are absolutely amazing within their class. I mean, Moonlight, the weakness debuff, sleep, AoE damage, she's absolutely amazing. Stardust, Sign of the Star, AoE damage, providing damage resistance for himself and things like that. Really good. We got Pattaya, absolutely just insane tank damage dealer right now that we have. Sherbet, the slow frost is insane. We got our Cream Puff, absolutely amazing healer and a buff for herself, so she's really good. I would say definitely recommend to build her, especially with the magic candy once you guys do pull her from the Guild Gacha. And then Snapdragon, you know, Snapdragon is safeguarded, provides an insane amount of buff. We got debuff resist, damage resist, we got HP shield, attack buff, you know, just an insane amount of buffs that you're actually able to get from one cookie. All right, so these guys are going to be the must raise once you guys do pull them. And lastly, it's going to be the first to invest. These are going to be the cookies that I actually mentioned in the previous video, talking about the cookies that I would say are worth your investment, and these guys are going to be available within the mileage shop or through an event, including something like the Might of the Ancient. So including Hollowberry as well as Pure Vanilla. We got our Wildberry with the Magic Candy now, and we got Space Donut, Milky Way, as well as Prune Juice. We got Squid Ink, we got Captain Caviar, Eclair, as well as Cotton. So I know I did not mention Prune Juice yesterday inside of that video because Prune Juice is really more geared towards the guild boss battle of things, and you do need to kind of invest in him right now if you guys do want to do a lot of damage to the Red Velvet Dragon. But besides that, Eclair too, really good inside of not only the World Aspiration because of the weakness debuff, but inside of the guild boss battle too. And then the rest of the cookies, they're just really good in their class. Damage dealer, Captain Caviar, Squid Ink does really good damage. For the tanks, Space Donut, Milky Way, as well as Wildberry, they're really good in tanking as well as providing debuffs and stuff like that. Cotton, overall, really good support. And then we got Hollowberry and Pure Vanilla, still the two best ancients that we have gotten. Hollowberry, especially if you guys are deciding to choose between the two. I mentioned it yesterday too, but Hollowberry is going to be more towards the arena as well as the harder, difficulties of the world exploration and things like that. But Pure Vanilla will carry you guys out throughout in the entire game. Although he may not be used too much inside of the arena right now, he's still going to be really amazing for most players who are going to get stuck in episode 15 and 16, especially because of the injury in episode 16. And will just be used throughout the entire gameplay. All right, so I do recommend deciding to choose between those two depending on where you guys are and what you guys are aiming to do in the future. But that is going to conclude for the PvE tier list for July 2023 after the release of Shining Glitter as well as Rockstar. Hope you guys found the video helpful. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys have anything that you guys would like to say, change, or just comment in order to let me know your thoughts. And yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.